everyone. Hello. Good. It is afternoon now. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is the last live for this 2022. It's been amazing because I've had really good and interesting guests, as you know. And today, of course, because it's the last one, we are going to have another Gabby. We're going to have Gabriela Prado. She's the founder of the Change Lab. I'm gonna, share all the links with you later. But I'm really excited to have her here. And let me introduce her. Hi.
Hi, Gabby. Nice to be here with you.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure for me to have you here. This is our last live this year, and I mean, you talk about a very interesting topic. I mean, you're an expert on it, and in my community, is like we really would like to know more about it. Okay, and that is change management. But before we start talking about that, tell us about you. What did you do? Where did you live? How did you get into this, change management context?
Okay, first of all, I am Gabriela Prado. I live in Santiago, Chile, and I am a mother of three kids. I have three kids, so they keep me busy most of the time, and I try to balance between what I being a mother and also working and doing what I love to do. I work as a consultant. I've been working with organization and teams since 2005, so it's been a long time. And I try to facilitate, or I've been learning how to facilitate change for individuals, for teams, and for organization. And also, just in case, I have dogs too. So if you hear they will bark maybe during our live. It's part of what we are living right now.
Yes,
Okay?
it
I am
is.
at
I
home
love
right
it.
now.
I love
So
it.
so I decided to go to learn change management because doing what I just said, uh, trying to facilitate change for individuals, teams, and organization, I realized that it's not easy at all. And I found in
Mhm.
change management discipline a way to improve or to facilitate even better uh, what's it's happening in organizations, and that's what I do. And
Awesome.
that's it. I am proud to be the founder of the Chain Lab. I am the president of ACMP chapter for Chile. So happy to be here with you.
I love it. Now, how did you? I mean, because you were you working in corporate first, and then you founded the Change Lab. How was that transition?
Okay, one of my first job was working for a corporate.
Hmm.
I work in a multinational company as a work for planning and development head. That means that I was in charge of uh, organizational initiative to improve
Hmm.
the result with a human research point of view in that point of view. So I love working with people. I am a psychologist. I'm a organizational psychologist. So my main background is working with people to improve
Okay.
their skill and capabilities or whatever. So I worked there for many years, and after a while, I decided to go independent
Okay.
because I always knew that working as a consultant was what I want to do for living.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like to create new things to approach problems. I like to be always in different kind of levels. I love getting to know people in different organizations. So I decided to go independent, even though I work also in Fundación Chile.
Okay.
Fundación Chile is a public and private organization that improve innovation capabilities in the country. So I
Okay.
learned a lot working in Fundación Chile. And working in Fundación Chile, I decided to go for my master degree. And when I
Ah.
and when I went to my master degree, I got a master degree in the U.S. Uh, that's how I went deeper in my expertise. And
Hmm.
having that, when I get back to Chile, I start working as a consultant,
Okay.
and it's been there since 2012. Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Okay.
Is it
Now,
clear? I try to do it as fast as I can.
that's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect. Now, well, people, if you have any questions, just write in the comments. I'll be here, like checking if you have any questions for Gabby, right? So let's start talking about this change management. And one of the questions that come, to our minds is, what's the difference between change and adaptability? Because due to this pandemic, is like one of the most important soft skills is adaptability. Whenever you see a job offer or a job description, there is adaptability. So is it the same? Does it work the same with change and adaptability?
Oh, okay. I think it's a great question because I completely agree with you. Many of the job description said adaptability. You have to be able to adapt or whatever how they decided
Mm-hmm.
to put it. But in my opinion, this is just my opinion. Change or
Mm-hmm.
change management is different than adaptability because change means that uh, you have to have a change initiative going on in an organization or
Okay.
a project, and change management will be uh, a way to facilitate getting the result of any change
Okay.
initiative. So change management is a discipline. That means that you
I love
have tools and techniques to work with, okay? And in that case, adaptability will mean that there is a capability to change constantly
that.
in a in an organization. I'm always dealing with two levels,
Okay.
organizational level and individual levels.
Mm.
So uh, adaptability in an organization will mean that there is a capability to change in the
Okay.
organization.
All
And
right.
change management is a discipline. So it is different. And if I go directly to your question,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you just ask about what it means in a job description. I will say
Uh-huh.
that in a job description, in that case, will mean that have you faced many change issues, or how
Hmm.
have you deal with it? Are you able to face different contexts and cultures and job or roles? How you have deal with it?
Hmm. I love that point because that our community is, I mean, it's professionals who are interested in working in international companies, or they are already working in international companies. So this cross-cultural communication, this cross-cultural awareness is extremely important, right? And adapting or managing those changes that create once you start working in an international company, I think are really, really important. I mean, the awareness, right, that you are going to face different changes and a different situation. Let me see here. Joanna says, Gabby, change management is based on culture. I know it, but how to start? I face a lot of resistance from head managers because they have working many years in this company. Okay, it's like, you know, they are traditional. That's what we say.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Joanna. Uh, but that's why we have to do something about it. And I will say
Mm-hmm.
that there, in change management discipline, there are some new perspective that push you to include the managers in any change initiative. That means that
Mm-hmm.
we have to co-create change, we have to
I love
co-decide
that.
change. They are not part of what they, because many managers are just asking for result, but we have to
Mm-hmm.
involve them in change initiative. And culture for sure is one of the main uh, issues, or maybe it's not an issue because culture is what is just culture. But
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, and we have to do something about it. But change will only stay if it has a meaning or a purpose to
Mm.
go for it. So we could just talk about it the whole life. But in just in case, Joanna, there are many articles or things that you can download for free in my website, and I will be happy to share with you your thoughts. Also, stay connected, and we could just talk about it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's hard because and I love that you said meaningful. I mean, you have said two words that are very, very interesting. You said it is a discipline, and then you said that it has to be meaningful. So it has to make sense for the other person, and it has to be meaningful for them so they can, be open, right, to these changes, right?
Yes, because resistance to change is natural,
Yes.
especially when you lost something. You lost
Hmm.
power, you're gonna lose some
Yeah.
expertise domain, whatever you're gonna lose during a process of change. It is okay to resist it. It is a natural process. But when
Yeah.
the change will bring you benefits or will connect with your purpose,
Hmm.
will make that resistance to go
Yes.
lower, or to deal with it, to go for
Hmm.
it. Even when I'm gonna to lose something, I know that at the end will be something that for to get better, something better than I'm used to it.
Yes. Yep. 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 Absolutely. I mean, that's so interesting. Look at this. I just shared in the chat here on LinkedIn, Joanna. I share with you the links to Gabby's website, the Change Lab, where she shares some resources to help, you to help the community understanding, how to deal with all this situation. So take a look at the website. Let me see if I can share here to show you very quickly. Okay, here it is. Is this right? So here you have some
Yes, yes.
resources.
Yeah, we are we want to share as much as possible because we are sure that collaboration is a new way to build communities. So please feel free to download whatever you need for it and stay connected.
Mm-hmm.
Just write me down. Maybe it will take me a while because I'm always running, but even though I'm gonna answer, I'm gonna just stay connected and
Yep.
feel free to take all the resources that we're sharing in our website.
Awesome. Great, Gabby. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, both Gabbies. Absolutely. Okay, so we have to make it meaningful. And before we jump into the next question, I just want to go back a little bit into this, discipline. Why would you say this is a discipline? I mean, why a discipline?
Okay, because it's a field of research.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from organizational development, from
Mm-hmm.
organizational psychologists. Many of the uh, models, there are many models and methodologies to work with change management.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, that's one of the reason it is a discipline,
Okay.
because it's not what you think you have to do. There are many
Yes.
methodologies, models, and tools to work with it. So, uh, and it started at 1953 with some of the first model. I would not go
Mm-hmm.
deeper in that, but for sure, many of the participants today have heard about Kurt Lewin. Kurt Lewin uh, is referred to one of the first model of change management. So
Okay.
after that, we could just go for it and find at least 8 more models that describe how we could facilitate or how we uh, go through a process of change.
Okay. Now it leads me to the next question. Maybe we have already, like talk about this, but let's just, like wrap up. So then, why is change awareness important in corporate? Why should people, the staff and, the board of directors and all the, different C levels in the company, everyone, why should everyone be aware of changes? Why is this awareness important in corporate?
Okay. So I don't know if you have heard about Bunny environment. Have you heard about Bunny environment?
Yeah, I've read like some articles about it, but tell us more just in case, like some people do not know about that.
Okay, for sure, many of you have felt that during the last 2 years we have been facing a lot of changes. Have you?
Mm-hmm.
Have you,
Yep.
Gabby? Yes.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
it's good to know that I'm not the only one.
No, no, no. Sometimes it's more than we can handle.
Yes,
It's like,
yes, of course. Yes, I feel this. I feel it the same way. So,
mm-hmm.
bunny environment means that since the COVID pandemic, we have been facing a brittle. You know what?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Brittle, anxious,
Yes.
non-linear,
Yep.
and unpredictable
Yes.
environment.
Yep.
So, and before that, we used to talk about VUCA environment, volatile, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguous. So
Mm-hmm.
because of that, organization, uh, I would say that change awareness will be like the first step to put change in a valuable position.
Yep.
Okay, so organizations are open system. That means that they have a close relationship with environment and vice versa.
Yep.
So th- they are not independent of what is going
Mm-hmm.
on in the environment. Uh,
Absolutely.
so actually, I always talk about this in my classes or webinar. An
Mm-hmm.
organization has internal and external pressures to change.
Okay.
And when organizations do not listen or do not do something about them, sooner
Mm-hmm.
or later they will die. For
Yeah.
sure, you know many examples about it. One of the classical one is Blockbuster.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, they didn't listen what was going on in the environment,
Mm-hmm.
how their customer were changing, how the
Yes.
trends were changing. So because of that, they they die.
Yeah.
So organization have to be aware of change, and
Mm-hmm.
being aware means that you put change in a valuable position. Would you say that for me, please?
Valuable. Yeah,
Valuable
absolutely. And
position.
and it is also about well, we talk about adaptability too, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you need to be open minded, right?
Yes. Yeah, and that will connect with grown mindset. That
Oh
means that,
yes.
yes, I love that topic too.
Mm-hmm.
Having that grown mindset to face
Mm-hmm.
change it with an open mindset, being able to put mistake in a valuable position to
Yes.
how you could learn from mistake, how we all can learn from mistake.
Yes.
So it's a different kind of mindset.
Yep. 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 I love it. I love it. Yep, absolutely. Now, there's another question that is extremely important, and I'm happy that that we have women in the house who are asking questions, because the next one is related to that. Like, what what is the role of women in change management? What is it?
Okay, just give me a second because
Yeah,
my little one it's just knocking on the door.
no
So
problem.
I'm asking for help.
Okay, okay.
Um, Okay, so uh, it is a interesting question because it's just my point of view. I want to be clear about that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
uh, in my team I have a woman and man, and I love to work with people. So it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter if they're woman or men, but I have to be honest. I love working with women. I have to be honest. Okay. Okay. So in my experience, women are used to lead change in so many different level and contexts.
Mm-hmm.
So just give me a second, please.
Okay. Hi, anybody else around? I see here that we are like 12 people watching live. So if there's anybody else here, do you want to, if you have any questions or anything, you can write them in the comments. And how is this, changing management in your companies? I mean, are really, like high, level positions, I don't know, managers and supervisors, are they really open to change? Or I don't know, is it a little more of a traditional, like in Joanna's case? What do you think about this situation? How did you deal with that? You can share with us in the comments if you want to, or if you have any other questions, just let us know. Because with this, pandemic, is like we've seen companies changing, right, a lot in different, aspects. So if you guys can share with us, that would be very helpful and useful for us. There you go.
Okay, thank you so much for waiting.
Thanks, Gabby.
Uh,
Absolutely.
so we were just talking about what's the
Women.
role of woman in change management.
Mm-hmm.
So just to make it clear, in my opinion and in my experience, how I just said, women are used to lead change in so many different levels and contexts.
Yes.
Even it's changing, but
Mm-hmm.
that's in my experience. Um, Many of my clients are men. And one of the things that I realized that they appreciate from women, it is that we have a wide view of how change impact people. We are
Mm.
open to facilitate change. We empathize more easily. And for
Mm.
sure, uh, empathy is one of the key to facilitate change. So being able to talk about it, being able to share our knowledge and experience about it, to be
Okay.
able to show that people or resistance to change is natural process, and
Yes.
you don't have to fight about with it. So at the opposite side, you have to facilitate. You have to be able to uh, be there for others to
Mm-hmm.
go through. So, and I have seen that it's something that it's very valuable when you work with others in organizations. And I don't know if it's a role of woman, but I'm pretty sure that mm, maybe you're gonna agree that women, we are used to lead change or to facilitate change in so many different levels and contexts, not just in a work context. We are
Mm-hmm.
used to facilitate change also in personal levels too.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We change, as human beings. It's like we have a lot of biological, changes. We have a biological change monthly. It's like we have to. We are born, with changes, and I think that adaptability. I mean, we have been able to adapt, since we're very little, and we're all the time changing and adapting, and then you become a mom, and then you become a wife, and then you become a, it's like we're all the time on this, changing situation. So yeah, probably that's why it is easier for us, to be, kind of, or have some empathy to changing
Mhm.
situations.
Even though I was just thinking about what Joanna said earlier
Mm-hmm.
about culture, even though I will say that when there is a culture that uh, the influence of organizational culture is so strong that even
Mm-hmm.
a woman could not be able to facilitate any change because of the organizational culture. So it is not related um, with the gender in
Yes.
that case,
Yeah.
because organizational culture is so strong, and it will make you do things that are maybe even opposite of what your nature will do.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Yeah, yeah.
clear? Do you agree with it?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. In terms of and sometimes women are, like, we're forced to behave in a certain way or respond in a certain way, and maybe physically, biologically, it's like we're not, able to respond in that way, and then you're forced to do it. So I mean, yes, it's a big, topic. And then the next question is about measuring. Okay, so if there's the possibility, if there's a window for companies to change, right, to create changes in, their departments and stuff like that, their processes, etc. What about measuring? I mean, how can we make sure that things are working? Are there any, how do you measure the results of those changes? Are there any metrics? Is there any evidence? How will we go around that?
Okay, so we have some big depth in that area,
Okay.
because we are not used to measure. But if you do not measure, you will never know if you are going the right way or the right path,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's working, or
Yes.
if you're getting the benefit or the results you were waiting for.
Yeah.
So measuring, it's something that I have learned that it is very important. And
Yeah.
because of that, I in my case, I brought some expert to my team that
Mm.
know how to measure in a better way than me, for sure. And just to make it even easier than that, or simpler than that, I would say that you have to uh, a way to put metric in an order will be,
Mm-hmm.
for any change initiative, you have
Okay.
to put your benefits in short term, medium term, and long term.
Great.
Okay, and the metric will also be linked to what you are looking for. Just I
Of
will give you an
course.
example. If you are looking to improve people performance,
Mm-hmm.
you have to measure in a short term, medium term, and long term. And for sure, you're not going to have the change of their skills or abilities in the short term, but you
Mm-hmm.
will start seeing some changes.
Yes.
So you will have to start looking for it at the short term. Then you will have to decide what you want to see at the medium term, and then
Mm-hmm.
at the long term, that you will be able to see the whole changes.
Yep.
S- Is it, and for that, we most of the time we put the people to do what is called the change case, or
Mm.
that means that you have to co-create or co-design what you are looking for in terms of benefits. And if you
Okay.
get that, you will be able to go for the metrics. it,
Got
it
it.
is a it is a complex specific field, but
Mm-hmm.
I hope I said something that it makes us a little easier to understand for people here.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I suppose, like in the case of Joanna, that she was, there, she knows there's resistance. I suppose she needs to show her boss, or like the high level managers, etc., what are the results going to look like, right? Like, this is what we're going to see in the near future, right? In the long term. Like, she needs to make it visible, right? So they can understand and realize what their expectations are.
Yes, and not just to show them, you have to
Mm-hmm.
ask them too. I mean that uh, uh, questions are such a powerful tool.
Yes.
So if you ask them what they are looking for, what are their
Mm-hmm.
expectation about the company, the company's future, or
Mm-hmm.
if you have a specific change initiative going on, you should ask them, okay, what would be, how would the future will be if we are if
Mm-hmm.
success with this implementation or initiative.
Okay.
And having that, you will start
Yes.
looking at the benefits of it, and
Mm-hmm.
they will part of that. And that means that top down change management or are not very successful. I would
Yes,
say
of
that
course.
you have to co-design, co-create,
Mm-hmm.
and having that, you will be able to have the benefits, and because of the benefits, you will have some metrics to put on the table and to talk about it.
Yes. I love that. I love that. Awesome. Joanna, are you taking notes? Okay, great. We have Claudia here. Oh, because we were talking about women, we are adapting ourselves to the continuous changes, workplace, family issues, even in personal life. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's like personally, we have some changes,
Yes,
all the
for
time.
sure.
Now, because we have a lot of people preparing for job interviews in our community, and there are a lot of recruiters in our community too. This is a question that came to us. How can recruiters assess change management skills? I mean, if I'm going to hire a manager, how can I know if that person is, aware of change management and the importance of change management, and if they are open to it?
Okay. So I'm pretty sure that recruiters will find better ways to do it than me because they are experts doing that. But even though I have some tips that maybe I could share with it. So one of the first tips that I have is, in a formal way, uh, there are some change management certifications. So if
Mm,
you're looking for someone who has to be prepared to lead a change management role or whatever, so you could ask them about their change management certifications. That means
okay.
that they have been trained to know the change management discipline. Okay,
Okay.
and there is also a global association that it's called ACMP, or
Mhm.
Association of Change Management Professional, that have all the qualified education providers
Mhm.
to do that. So
Okay.
that's an official way to do that.
Okay.
Okay, and many multinational companies are already looking for it. So uh,
Should I be a manager, or should I be, like applying for a managerial position in change management to get a certification, or could anyone learn about change management and get certified as a change
okay,
manager?
so anyone.
Okay.
For instance, I will say that in my experience, I have had people who has a manager level and decided to
Mm-hmm.
go for a change management certification because they are dealing or they are leading complex organizational
Mm-hmm.
transformations, so they have to have a better perspective about that discipline. Also, I have had people from other levels, like is expert level, or IT, from IT,
Mm-hmm.
HR, from uh, commercial areas. I,
Okay.
I will say that it doesn't matter if today you're leading or you have to facilitate change in your organization and you feel like you need more tools or perspective to facilitate it, you
Mm-hmm.
could go for it.
Okay.
And it's not it is not limited to your role, even
I
though
love that.
even though I will say that many in right now, uh, if you have to go for it, you have to you have to, I don't know how to say that, but you it's because you want to go for that specific talent.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 Look at this. Based on the question that we're discussing. Hi, Evalu. So nice to have you here. Hi. If there is one member of the team that don't want to adopt a new methodology, which is your suggestion to do with him or her to not affect the rest of the team?
Oh, okay. uh Ibalu Nawel. Okay, so I will say that there is I try to look for it. I will look for a have you heard about the curve of change, Nawel?
Not really. Well, not
No.
me. I don't know if you
Okay.
guys here in the have heard about
Okay,
it.
but during the process of change, we
Mm-hmm.
have a way to live change, like
Okay.
everyone. Okay, at the beginning you don't want to change, or you are gonna
Yes.
have you're gonna say, okay, this is not happening, or it's something that it's gonna happen in another team or another area or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So uh, that will mean that you are you don't want to deal with change. But during a process of change, each of us go for a curve. And at the
Okay.
beginning, I would say, how is it? How is this person feeling? Like, is
Mm.
they are pushing change away, or they are feeling desperate because it can he he or she is feeling that it's more incapable to do things that new way. So it
Mm-hmm.
depends. You have to go and see what's going on with that individual.
Mm-hmm.
What is he losing during this process of change? I would say that one-to-one conversation are a great way to facilitate change. So talk to these people. Ask um, ask he or she what's going on, what is how does it feel this change, for is it being too difficult, and it
Mm-hmm.
depends of that what you will do. There is not a secret formula to deal with it. So first you have to identify what is these people this resistant to change. There are two reasons why we resist to change. Maybe because we don't know about it, we have no idea what's going on, or
We
we
don't
don't know the meaning.
understand.
We don't
Mm-hmm.
we don't know the meaning of it. We don't
Mm-hmm.
understand what's going on. The second level, or what we resist to change, will be that because of we can do the things differently. It's
Mm.
too hard. Like if you learn another language at the beginning, it's very very hard. So
Yes.
it's been too hard, so I prefer to go for Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I don't try that hard because it's taking me forever to write this paper in English. So
Yes.
because you can, it is too difficult at the beginning. So
Okay.
in that case, you will have to give that people all the support to learn this new way to develop this new skill. And
Mm-hmm.
only the last reason because people are resistant to change is because they don't want, like because of motivation, because of the incentives are not very clear about
Mm.
it, or because we see that the thing that we are losing because of the change are a lot bigger than the gains that we are gonna have.
Okay.
So start looking for it at the three levels.
Like what where the person is, and then you take it from there, you know?
Yes.
Because, well, as I understand, because here she says that the person doesn't want to adopt a new methodology. It's like the person doesn't want to. I mean, maybe she has talked to him or her, and it's like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to change. I don't want to do it. Like I don't want to. Maybe because they have to learn, new processes, and they are not open to learn new processes, right? So how to deal with that, Gabby? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. It was kind of broken for a few seconds, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
here.
Okay,
I don't.
okay.
I would love to hear if it was helpful for Nawel to hear that, for Ibalu Nawel.
Okay, Ivalu, let us know if there's anything else regarding that question. I suppose in her case, it would be like the person is not open. I mean, because it says the team don't want to adapt to the new technology. I mean, this person doesn't want to adapt. I mean, they don't want to. I mean, you have the previous processes, the previous system, and you have this new methodology, but the person is not open to. The person is not open, and that is affecting the entire team. So I mean, it's a hard situation to
Yeah.
deal with.
Can I share a sketch with you?
I think so. I don't know, do you have the option to share your screen,
Just
or
let
you
me.
can send it to me on the LinkedIn chat, and I open and I share, because I don't know if you have
Okay.
the share
Okay.
screen option.
Okay. Okay. I will send it to you because I think that it will be so much easier for everyone to understand it if I. I'm sorry. Let me know if you got it.
Oh yeah, here it is. Let me open. And wait a second. Yes. I mean, you can do this in Spanish if you want to. I mean,
Okay.
if you feel
Thank you.
more comfortable, just go for it, no problem. Let
I
me.
always try to push myself to accommodate myself with English. It's not my native language, and I learned it when I was old. So I love to push myself to talk in
I love
English.
it. I love it. I love it. That's the point. And that's why you are able to communicate, because you have been pushing yourself to do it. People who do not push themselves, they don't improve, period. Right? And that's with everything, you know?
And I know I
Awesome.
will never talk like a native speaker, but I don't care.
Why
I
not?
just
Never. I mean,
yeah.
you can only do that if you have the time, because that is time. It is time, consistency, and a good plan. I mean, if you have a good plan and if you have time, you will. I'm trying to learn French, and I think I'm not going to be able to speak French as a native. I won't, because I don't have the time. But if you make the effort, you can. Oh, okay. Hi, Federica. So nice to have you. Ivalu says, thanks. Gabriela's answer was very useful for me. Thank you so much, Ivalu, for asking. By the way, it was very, very interesting. What if this person declares they don't want to change, and also, oh my God, try to stop
Yeah.
change too often, with the objective that anything changes in the company? P.S. I like to stay here. I won't leave this company. Okay.
Oh my God. It's kind of hard what you just said, Johanna, because I would say it depends. If it is the general manager, there is nothing
There's
to do
nothing
with
to
it.
do.
Yeah, there is nothing to do with it because we need. Uh, I will talk about sponsorship. Have
Yep.
you heard about sponsorship?
Yep.
So
Yep.
one of the main things that we will have to look for it if we are pushed, if we have to facilitate change in our company, we
Mm-hmm.
have to get a sponsor. And if we are
Mm-hmm.
dealing with a complex organizational transformation, that will be a cultural transformation or a digital transformation or agile transformation, we will have to have the sponsorship of a general manager.
Mm-hmm.
So if that person that you just mentioned, Joanna, is the general manager. There's nothing to do with it. But if we have we have to be very uh, political
Yes.
intelligence. I don't know how to say
Mm-hmm.
that, but we have to deal with politics in that area.
Yep, yep, yep.
Organizations are not free of that. So we have to have one-to-one conversation. We have to have some uh, conversation with people that are going to give you the support needed to
Yep.
make change happen.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
In
yep.
that case, so I will say that. And
Okay.
just to be even more
And
precise about the pirámide de resistencia that I just shared with you, Gabby,
mm-hmm.
uh, I will say that if you go to slide number 4, thank you, thank you. So I hear the sirens of ambulance. Yes, I know, I know. I live close to the uh, fire department, so I heard sirens all the time in my house. So, so uh, Joanna, look, that's what I explained to Ivalu earlier. So, people resistant to change will be at the beginning because they don't know anything about the change, then because they can't, and only a few ones will be resistant to change because they don't want to. So most of the time we believe that many people are resistant to change because they don't want to change.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I would say you have to go for the first step first, then the second step. And if you are in that case that this person don't want to change because they don't want to change, they don't have the motivation to change, I will start looking for other ways to deal with it. Please,
Mm-hmm.
Gabby, could you go to slide number 7?
Absolutely.
In that case, Joanna, I will say, so you have to identify the drivers of that person.
Mm-hmm.
Why this person don't want to change. Most of the time is because they're losing something that is very valuable for them, because they're losing some authority or
Mm-hmm.
autonomy or security or whatever. So start looking for it. What is these people losses? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if they feel, or is this person perceived that the the cost of the chain is higher than the benefits of the chain,
Yes.
they are gonna to resist to change, and they will say something like, okay, I don't want to change, or I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
change. So you have to look for it. You have, and
Yes.
then I would say that, please, if you are a peer of that person, will be so much easier to have one-to-one conversation. But if
Yep.
you're not the peer, and there is a manager or something that could have a one-to-one conversation, they have
Mm-hmm.
to have that one-to-one conversation. It's not your responsibility to deal with it, especially
Yes.
when these people does not depend on you. Something that we
Mm.
have to change about the change management perspective is that everyone is in charge. It's not
I
just
love that.
it's not just your responsibility, Joanna. It's every leader's responsibility. It's every person of the company responsibility, because dealing with change has to be a capacity to install in our organization. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, I would say at last that you have to be able to communicate the benefits of the change and the
Yes.
risk of not doing that. Because in some point, if it's not your general manager or whatever, there's so many risks about it. You could lose your job. You could lose yours. You could lose the. You could uh, drive your company to die. You could,
Mm-hmm.
because we already talked about that. If a company doesn't listen to the environment of the change needed to state, uh,
Mm-hmm.
alive, they sooner or later they will die because they are not going to be able to adapt to new trends or whatever is needed for our customers.
Mm-hmm.
Was it clear,
Absolutely.
Joanna? Oh, Joanna. Oh, thank you, Claudia. I really think that one-to-one conversation are key. Thank you.
Is the key. Yeah, the
Yeah.
one-on-one is the key. Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you said regarding the risks and the benefits. Sometimes depending on the person, it is great if you show them the benefits. This is what will improve, this is how we will get more customers, or this is how we will improve our processes, and blah blah blah. But maybe it is better if you say, this is what we're losing. You see,
Yes.
this is the risk. If we continue doing this, maybe you can make a projection. If we continue doing this, look at all the people we're going to lose, or look at all the, I don't know, time we're wasting.
Yes.
So maybe these one-on-one conversations Claudia is talking about can give you a clue on what would be the strategy,
Yes.
right? What will work more for this person, like talking about the benefits and the good things, or talking about the negative things, right? Like the risks that are involved, right?
Yes. Thank you so much, Gabby. You you did it so
Awesome.
great to sum up what I just said.
No,
Thank
that's
you.
awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, like the screen, and giving us this graphics and these ideas, because it's easier, well, by teaching, we know that it's easier when we can see, like things and the way they work. And well, I don't know, there's one last question that I have here in the list. I don't know, guys, if you have any other, but um as a company, or as an employee, or as a candidate that is applying for a new job in a new company, what are some red flags that if I'm a candidate, what is a red flag that the company is not open to changes? If I represent a company or a recruiter, what are the red flags that this candidate is not open to change? And if I am a regular employee in a company, what are those red flags that people are not open to change?
Mhm. Okay, it is not an easy question at all because there's so many things that I will start looking for it.
Mm,
So uh, I will go at first for a candidate, maybe. If you are a recruiter, and how will be the red flags?
mm,
Maybe I will ask the candidate the reasons why this person left their the last job or
okay.
their past jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if we could find out that some of the reason because of that were because this person was not able to be open to new things, of doing things, maybe that
Mm-hmm.
would be a red flag, because if that person only wants the things her or his own way, that would be a red
Mm-hmm.
flag. Okay, but
Yep.
for sure recruiters will have better
Get
ways
it.
to do that because they are expert on it.
Mm-hmm.
So but I will ask, why do you leave your last job or the other job that you had before?
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell me, I'm just doing role playing, could you tell me what are the main challenges that you have to face
I
when you
love that.
were in that position?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to deal with role changes or team changes or leader changes? How
Okay.
did you deal with it? Or not just in only in your professional field. What about
Mm-hmm.
how do you face changes in any personal level?
Mm-hmm.
And in the case of companies, oh my God, it's so hard to work with companies that uh, don't see the value of changes,
Great.
because
Yeah.
it is something that maybe they hide sometimes when you talk about
Mm-hmm.
it, because everyone said, no, we're open to change, we're ready to change, we want to change, because it's like a new trend or whatever. Everyone will
Mm-hmm.
never say that we are not open to change,
Mm-hmm.
because es no bien visto, ¿no es
Yeah.
cierto?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I agree.
yeah, but when they start, I will say something, I will share something with you, that
Mm-hmm.
when this is a real experience, but when you have some conversations and they start saying things like, we're gonna make people to believe that their ideas are valuable, or we're gonna ask people, but after a while we're gonna do what we have planned to do, that's resistance to change.
That's a red flag.
Yes, of course. And I feel so frustrated when I try to facilitate change in companies, but they don't want to go for it, because they start saying that kind of thing, like, we're gonna ask people, but we're not gonna
Mm-hmm.
take what they said, or we're gonna make them believe that what you just said is valuable, or we're gonna do it that way no matter what, or we already told them how to do things, so that's enough. That will be some red flags, I say.
Okay. I love that. I love that. Well, we don't have any more questions, but I just thought of one question before we start talking about the certification. So let's see. Okay, so Joanna is in this situation. She really likes the company. It's very hard for her to, like help them realize, create this awareness and change. So what's the limit? I mean, as an individual, as a professional, where's the limit until when you should continue pushing if you don't see that they are doing anything? I mean, what's the limit for that? Because we wanna maybe we wanna promote change, but if people are not open to, and you have tried different strategies, and you have been working in the company for a long time, and you really enjoy the company, but they are not open, what's the limit? I mean, what's the next step? Should you keep on doing it or just look for something different?
Okay, I will say that if someone is openly resistant to change and they share that with you, maybe do not have to forget that maybe they have a different point of view, that you could listen to it, and they will maybe show you some, uh, how do you say that, blind spot that you
Okay.
haven't
Yep.
that
You
you
haven't
haven't
seen. Yeah.
seen.
Mm-hmm.
So listen. But if even though they are pushing and they are, you have to put yourself a limit. Okay.
Yes.
And I will say that it's not your responsibility, Joanna. You have to talk with people that are related to that person to put some limits with it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I will say something. M- There are many people that are not gonna tell you openly that they are resistant to change, but they
Yes.
will act differently. They will say, "Okay, Joanna, okay, count on me. I will be there," but they are not there. They
Mm-hmm.
they do not answer your emails. They do
Mm-hmm.
not go to the meetings that you invite them to go. So be aware of that people, because
Yes.
that people are not being honest. And in many organizations is what we see most of the time. There are people
Mm-hmm.
that are openly resistant to change, and it's easier to map them or to follow them because you know their names or their positions.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that are going to support the change. I call them
Mm-hmm.
the red, the green, but there are many people in the middle, the yellow one. And I would say that that's definitely the more difficult people to deal with it, because
Mm,
you don't know what they are actually doing about change.
yes, I love that. I love that. Great. Okay, so well, people, if there's any other question now, Gabby, tell us about the Change Lab because it is, like a big thing, to work with people who are willing to change, to create change in their companies and companies that are open to change. So, what is this, program? What is this certification about? It is the ninth version of the program. So, tell us a bit about this.
Okay, thank you very much, Gabby. I will say it in Spanish, okay?
Yes, of course.
Thank you very much. So, bueno, orgullosamente somos un proveedor calificado por la Asociación Global de Profesionales de Gestión del Cambio. Ya hemos certificado a más de cerca de 200 personas en Latinoamérica,
Wow.
eh, y incluso en Europa, habla hispana, en gestión del cambio. Fuimos el primer proveedor hispanohablante que obtuvo este reconocimiento para poder entrenar a las personas
Mm-hmm.
en gestión del cambio. En enero comenzamos nuestra novena versión, ya estamos con los últimos cupos y nuestro propósito es generar comunidad de aprendizaje en gestión del cambio, poder entregar herramientas aplicadas para quienes hoy día están facilitando, liderando procesos de cambio.
Mm-hmm.
Y me encanta que sea abierto porque hemos convocado hacia personas de diferentes empresas, industrias,
Love it.
países y aprendemos mucho. Así que en enero, por favor, quien pueda sentir que esto podría agregarle valor, que me escriba, podemos conversar y decir, mira, te cuento qué es, sin ningún como atadura, sino que decirle, mira, esto es, quizás te sirve, quizás
Mm-hmm.
conoce a alguien que le puede servir y agradecería mucho para que sigamos creciendo esta comunidad y aprendamos juntos a enfrentar entornos funny, entornos complejos que hoy día requieren de personas que faciliten los cambios en la organización.
Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is for everyone. It's like, and this is why I asked you at the beginning, like, is it only for managers? If it is it only for, like the owner of the company, the board of directors that they are in charge of taking the hardest decisions, right? But it's not, right?
No,
It's
it's
like
not.
anyone will be open to learn. Anyone who's open to learn about
Yes,
changes, right?
exactly. Yes, yes. And one of the main thing is that you can share with many people what's going on, what are your
Mm-hmm.
main pains about it, and you're gonna learn from everyone too.
Yes. Yep, yep, yep. I love it. I really appreciate your wise advice.
Oh, thank you so
Thanks,
much,
Joanna, for
Joanna.
being here. You see, I told you these guests that I'm, inviting on Mondays are wonderful. I love this kind of lives. Thank you both. Absolutely. Thanks to you. Can I follow you on LinkedIn?
Of
Yeah,
course.
of course. I just sent the link here.
Thank you so
It's
much.
here. Yeah, it's
I will.
here.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gabby. I had a lot of fun talking with you, and it's also a good way to keep practicing my English, uh,
Yes.
and to make it better.
Yeah, to improve it. I mean, it's just that, it's practice. Remember, people, that there is a here. I'm gonna share my screen very, very quickly. Here we have comments, right? The comments, but we also have networking. So if you want to network with anyone here, people who have been invited or people who have attended the session, you can do so here. Okay, so this is Gabriela's LinkedIn profile, and I will also share the Content Lab website, so you can take a look at all the resources that we shared at the beginning. There are a lot of really cool resources for people who are interested in this, change management topic. I will put it here in the chat. Okay. Awesome. No more questions. Anything else to share here? Nothing else? Okay. Let me put the website for the Content Lab the content lab here, the change lab here.
Yes.
There you go. Okay, awesome. There you go. Okay, well, Gabby, thank you so much. I'm sorry for taking so long. I mean, I don't know,
No,
we had a lot of questions, and it's a pleasure for us, to have you. It's an honor to have you here to answer all these questions. I checked the certifications, brochure, and I think it's wonderful. I mean, anyone who's interested in creating, promoting change in their companies and their environments, even if it is a business owner, and you want to create change in your teams and things like that, I think it's absolutely valuable. So, thank you so much.
thank you so much, Gabby. It was my pleasure.
Absolutely. Thanks to you. Bye, everyone. See you again next year, because this is our last live for this 2022. So, I already have a list for people for 2023. So, very interesting guests too. So, hope to have you again here in January. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend, good Christmas, Napoleon. Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks to you. Thanks to you for your time, and I love you for being here. Bye bye. Thank you so much. Thanks, Gabby. Thank you so much for being here.